So it's a real privilege to have you here with us. And now I'd like to ask PC Pedro to share a few more pieces of information about the area, what they are doing in terms of practical advice and so on. If you could speak from the mic, please. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. It's nice to be here among the amazing congregation, and to be part of the service here. I just feel like, yeah, this is the best place to be on a Sunday morning. And thanks to Father Joseph for inviting me over to say a few words. I have been working in Colindale, this area, Grand Park State, for the last 12 and a half years. I love this place. This is like my second home. I feel here at home. Because your home is your home, but your workplace becomes your second home. And the area where you work, when you come to know people, they become kind of like your friends, your colleagues, because you interact with them on a daily basis. And we are kind of like very approachable. People can come up to us, talk to us at any given time. And we are always ready to help, give them advice of any kind. And if they fear for their security, if they've got any issues around where they live, they can always call 999 if it's an emergency, 101 if it's non-emergency, or they can even, if they want to stay anonymous, they can call Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. And also you can report online. There are different ways you can report, or you can come to the police station and report as well. But we are here to serve the community as best as we can. But what we need is from members of public, from the congregation, is we need you to give us that call. If there's anything happening and you're not happy about it, be it antisocial behavior, be it drugs, be it rough sleepers, be it anything, any kind of crime, if you've got any information that you feel unsafe, you feel kind of like intimidated, call the police. All we need is to make that call so we can look into that and keep everyone safe in our community. And I don't know if you have noticed, over the last 8 months, we had this kind of like, we had to clear, I know last year, Father Joseph will know, many people who live on the Grand Park will know that Grand Park was kind of like not in a good position as it is today, because we had lots of issues with rough sleepers, drug dealers, and drug users. And we were short of staff. To tell you honestly, we were short of staff. And we tried to manage as best as we can, but it wasn't within our capacity to obviously get things under control at the right time. But since 8 months ago, we had this kind of like different officers coming out from Barnet, Harrow, and Brent. We flocked Grand Park State with officers day and night in plain clothes, in plain clothes, in plain cars. And we got so many arrests, so many drug seizures. We executed warrants at different addresses. We worked with Barnet Homes, who is like a valuable partner agency, to obviously remove kind of like the people who are causing problem using their properties in Grand Park State. So those people were moved away from Grand Park State. So for the last 8 months, we've had peace and I can say the word quiet in Grand Park State, because all the drug users, all the drug dealers, and all the rough sleepers were kicked out of Grand Park. They were given the choice, the opportunity. Help is there for each and every one. But these people refuse to take the help. And when we think like you're not kind of coming into the community, taking the assistance you need, and if you don't care about the society or Grand Park State, where we want to keep this community as safe as we can, then we have no other option but to make sure you leave Grand Park State completely. And this is what we have achieved. This was called the clear, to clear everyone out of Grand Park State, the kind of undesirables. Clear, hold. Hold means to keep hold of what we have done and to build on what we have achieved. So we are in that phase of build now. It's been 8 months, and we have seen a lot of change. Residents feel like they can sleep well at night. Kids can play out and about without the fear of seeing strange, or some kids will say horrible people. So without the fear of seeing horrible people out and about. And that was such a good thing for us. It's not an easy thing to achieve, but because we had to have so many of our partner agencies working together, and the police had to have big numbers day and night on the Grand Park side, and that's how we achieved it as well. But this has been a massive success. So this same clear hold bill is being implemented all over London, even all over the UK, because this has worked so well for the community, because our main aim is to keep the community safe. And this is what we have achieved. So we're trying to build on what we have achieved so far. But Father Joseph is always on hand. If there's any issues around in the Grand Park State, around the church, Father Joseph always calls the police, and we obviously are trying and help Father Joseph as best as we can. But I always tell Father Joseph, everything needs to be reported, just call us and we'll be there to help you. I just want to give a little more time, a little more information about ladies. Do you have handbags? Some of you do have handbags, yeah, okay. Whoever has got handbag, you got handbag, right? Can I take a handbag if I may? So ladies, most of the ladies, I suppose, would carry a handbag. But our advice is, make sure you don't put everything in your handbag. Now what happens? If you've got your house keys, your mobile phones, your cards, your cash, everything in your handbag, it doesn't happen very often that you become a victim of crime. At some point, sometimes, someone does become a victim of crime. What happens? You're walking down the road with your handbag, and if your handbag gets stolen, now what happens? You're trying to hold your handbag, and someone else, the suspect, is trying to take your handbag. But you know, in this process, we would advise you to let the handbag go if you can't hold it too long. Let the handbag go, because what happens, if you try and hold it too long, the suspect can pull you down, and you can hit the ground, and that could be very tragic sometimes. So someone's trying to take away your handbag, let it go, because this handbag can be replaced. But your life is much more important than the handbag. But our advice is, the most important thing in this handbag is your house keys and your mobile phone. If you've got your house keys, try and put them in your pocket. If you've got your mobile phone, try and put them in your pocket. Anything else can be replaced. Your credit card can be canceled, carry a small amount of cash. Anything else can be replaced, but your life is more important than the handbag. Yeah? So just this kind of piece of advice. Now it's coming up to summer, and obviously people live in houses, people live in flats. We always say, make sure you have enough security, because you know, with this kind of devices like Ring doorbells or any other device similar to Ring doorbells, where you can connect to your mobile phone. If you're anywhere in the world, you can see what's happening outside your front door or in the back garden. So have some kind of security device at home, so that you're always kind of like keeping an eye on what's happening outside your house. So that kind of like helps. It's kind of like an investment, security as well as peace of mind. So that's what we would advise you to do. Because summertime, a lot of people go away on holidays. But when you go away on holidays, let your family members, let your friends, or let your neighbors, if you know them well enough, let them know that you're going away, and try and keep an eye on your property while you're away. So that's kind of like, everyone knows, because sometimes a lot of people, you know, they feel like, if I let my neighbor know that I'm going away on holidays, and they will tell someone else, and they will obviously try and break into my property. That doesn't happen, because if you know your neighbors well enough, neighbors are not going to do that. So try and let people know that when you're away. And also one thing we would advise is, have a set light on a timer. When you're away from your property for days on, if you set a light on a timer, even when you are not in your property, the lights will come on in your absence, because you have set the light on a set timer. The light will come on around, say, in the summer at 8 in the evening, and will switch off at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So that gives an impression to people outside on the street that someone is home. Because the lights have come on, that gives an impression that someone's home. So in winter, it's very advisable. In summer, it's not that bad, but in winter, you always ask people to switch the lights on timer, because by 4 o'clock it's dark. People come from work like 5, 6, 7, and the burglars out there are looking out for properties that have got no lights. They say, oh, there's no lights, so no one's home. So they're trying to break into this property. But now, burglaries have gone down a big time compared to what it was 8, 9, 10 years ago. Now, burglaries have gone down. I don't know if you guys have experienced burglaries. If you have not, that's a good thing. It's not good ever to be a victim of crime, any kind of crime. And also, like, you know, now the craze is about mobile phones. Everyone has mobile phones. And people are walking with their mobile phones on the street, especially young boys, young girls. Our advice to them is use your mobile phone when you have to. The rest of the time, put your mobile phone in your pocket. Everyone has mobile phone, everyone knows that. But when you take your mobile phone and you walk on the street, you become a target. They're not after you, they're after your mobile phone. Once your mobile phone stays in your pocket, no one's come after you. The mobile phone is kind of like what they're looking for. A lot of things have happened because of mobile phones, but we try and give our advice as best as we can to kids. But kids are kids after all. Sometimes they do not listen. If anyone has any question in between, you can please raise your hand. You can feel free to ask me any question you want. Yeah.
We've been finding some jelly sweets in and around the church's garden.
Okay.
Last couple of weeks. Is that something that we should report?
Jelly sweets.
Jelly sweets, because you know they said that drugs are now being put in sweets
Yeah,
because it's an attraction to children if they see sweet they pick it up.
that's correct. That's correct.
I think they risk assessed daily.
Yeah.
We have been finding sweets. Sometimes a single jelly flavored sweet.
Okay.
Last week it was a full packet.
So I would say if there's any suspicion about any such thing, call 101 and let us know. Someone will come and have a look and try and investigate that. Yeah, feel free to call us at any given time. And if it's an emergency, you think like sometimes you have cars parked somewhere and kind of suspicious. But if you can make a note of the registration number, but don't make it obvious to anyone that you're making a note of the registration number. Make a note of the registration number, and you can call 101 and give that registration number. They will have a look. If this car is known for anything suspicious, police officers will come and stop and search that car. So all we need is that vital information. Members of the public should call us, give us any information they feel they're not happy about, and obviously we can look into that. Anything anyone wants to ask about? All good? Yeah, it's kind of trying to keep yourself safe anywhere you are, especially with kids, you know. Now we always have the kids are not here. Kids are here. So what happened with kids, you know? You have friends, right? So it's good for you to know who your friends are and who your friends' parents are. And that information needs to be brought to your parents. Your parents should know who your friends are and who your friends' parents are. Because what happened, a lot of times, you have friends, but that friend has got some other friends, and that some other friends could have family members that could be involved in kind of crime, different kind of crime. I'm not going to specify any crime. So what happened now, you could be drawn into that kind of circle from that friend of yours who's got another friend whose family members are involved in some kind of crime. So try and know who your friends are. It's very important because we don't want you to be in trouble at any given point because of your friends' involvement. So it's best for parents to know their children's friend and to know who their parents are, because this is how we try and keep everyone safe, especially children. We try and make sure you keep yourself safe at all times. Now, parents can look after the kids at home. Teachers can look after the kids in school. But between home and school is where things can go wrong. But if you keep yourself safe at all times, you will never be in trouble. We don't want any kids to be in trouble ever. But you have to make that decision. Keep the right amount of friends, and you should know who your friends are. Anything else, Father, would like to add?
Not necessarily, apart from a huge thank you. PC Pedro was the first policeman whom I met, because when I moved in, the garden of the clergy house was a jungle, and when I went to the garden the second time, I was quite taken aback with a shock, because someone moved in among the bushes setting up things, and I was so grateful after the shock that PC Pedro came. They cleared things out. But we are very grateful for their presence. What they are doing is restoring order, the God-given image of people, and we are very happy to give all our support what we can. If your Sunday scrolling around happens to be our service time, feel free to pop in 11 o'clock, 10:30ish, anytime. After the service, usually at 12:15 when we go normal according to schedule, we have sandwiches, to feel free to come in and suggest it to your officer to make it as part of our mental well-being support to join us on Sundays. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening. And now tea and sandwiches.